check out our anchor chart before you start. That one is for language, conversational moves. But remember today you were slanting mostly at each other, sorry, at each other. And adding on and thinking about what that person is talking about. Any questions before we start? Something just what you're thinking about. Excellent book.
What an excellent book.
It is. Okay.
It's much better than Inside Out and Back Again. Like, a lot better.
Not that you're keeping tracks, right? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and get started, guys.
Okay, no one wants to start. I'll start. In her log, I wrote about, I did a comparison on, I think it was Joseph's mom and Manu's mom. I compared them because they were similar because they were both extremely caring. And I'm pretty sure both of them would sacrifice themselves for their family. And the difference is, like, there's like, Manu's mom is like, because she has her whole family, but like, Joseph's mom is a lot, has less recollection because of the Nazis.
I agree with that. Why? I agree that like they're alike because like they both like very. Somebody else go. I wonder like for Joseph's dad. I wonder how his dad is. They say that he was eating, so like what if like the staff and people on the boat wonder and be concerned? Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, I agree with that because they might, maybe not, actually I can't, maybe I'll disagree with that because the entire boat is just Jews. Some of that, they're a lot different from each other because there's like, I don't even know how many, so there was a lot of people on that boat. You're probably thinking of like a little boat, but that's like a cruise ship. So I don't think they would have cared because there's probably people who looked a lot worse than Joseph's dad.
I think that like Joseph's dad was like starved and not treated well at all, and like put in the traps and stuff because like he acts so scared and weird now.
Yeah, in concentration camps, they get worked almost to death and unfed.
And you do get fed, just enough to survive though. It's kind of cruel. I don't know why the world is the way it is. Because I don't know what, I remember learning about what the Jews did to make Hitler mad. But I think Hitler's thing on Jews is pretty personal.
He's just an evil man.
He wanted world domination. He wanted dictatorship over the whole world. He was a foolish fool.
I'm gonna talk about Isabelle now. So, in the last chapter, when it talks about, I'm pretty sure it's the last chapter, when it talks about her going to, leaving on the boat, I thought that it was like weird how all of a sudden they just let all of the people go before they wouldn't let anybody go.
Well, because they had the law because on TV, like on the beginning of like, there was, I don't know what chapter it was, it was the beginning of like the first, second, third, it said that the Cubans were free to leave for like a limited time, so they were just watching. And the reason those two ran up is because they were related and they were like...
yeah, but I wonder why, like, I forgot, but the dictator, yeah. He, like, just all of a sudden let a bunch of people leave.
I do not know why. Maybe because they thought it was funny because people made their homemade little boats out of old refrigerators.
Yeah.
And they were just sitting there laughing and watching. But they did start shooting at Ruthie and her family once they started going on their motorboat. They did shoot them. and there's a hole in the boat right now. So
I think, well, I know that they did that because they like had to go through a special thing for being a police officer, and then that meant that they could not leave. It was illegal.
they were undercover. Here, we can talk about Mahmood now. We're not gonna be done, but I just want to talk about Mahmood because he's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting story. It's very modern, has like goes all out phone. I don't even know how they have data out there, but they do. So when someone died, it said the dead soldier was shot, and I don't even know. The soldiers were shooting in the car at the other people, and they just took their phone and ran. They needed the phone. And it must have been very, very very scary.
I feel like they made the right decision. Like, I know that the army people were like, you shouldn't leave because that's not serving your country. But if you have a family, then you need to leave before your whole family dies.
Yeah, why would you want to stay in a building that's probably going to get bombed even more?
I don't even know.
And Mahmoud and his family would probably be like under arrest or something by the soldiers if Wally didn't technically save the day because he answered the question that Mahmoud and his family did.
Just by chance he did it.
Just by chance.
Luckily,
They could have been the people who were bombing them coming to kill more people.
he snapped
It
out
was
of
good.
his
It was good.
silence.
And when we talked about loyalty to their country, they had no idea because they were just like innocent people. They weren't in the war. They just want to survive. That's all they want to do. Hunter, say something. You haven't talked very much at all.
Hunter is doing just fine. I know he wants to talk about it. He wants to. No, probably wants to go back to Joseph. You don't have to. I was just guessing.
The Hitler Youth, of all those kids were brainwashed.
How so? Why do you think that?
I don't know.
But I think we could make an argument that not all of them were.
Yeah, because that boy, like, let that kid go, let
Has to be a
Joseph
reason.
go. Yeah, I wonder what the reason was.
Maybe he was a Jew all along. I don't know.
I
We'll make
think,
some inferences.
A lot of
We're gonna have to make some inferences.
There's a lot of foreshadowing in this book.
yeah, I feel like,
You guys remember learning about foreshadowing?
yeah, I feel like this is gonna be like Long Walk to Water, where somehow all these stories connect at the end.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's gonna happen. Because one's like 200, wait.
Oh, you're right.
Oh wait, yeah.
These are like 30 years. If this person met this person would be 14, and this person would be, if they're 14 right now, they'd be well, over like 89 years old. So I don't know.
I wasn't.
Think logically. Maybe Mahmoud as well with me, because they're not that far apart.
Yeah.
I want to take it back for just 1 second because we've been working a lot on inferences, and when Hunter said that about the Hitler Youth being brainwashed, it made me think, well, we can make an argument that they weren't all brainwashed. And he starts to allude to something, but let's make some inferences. Why? Say the part about the boy again. The one
Well,
on the train.
he didn't like, the boy could have turned Joseph in and he could have gotten in a ton of trouble. But he just let him go, and I wonder why.
So let's make some inferences. Why did that? He was in the Nazi youth uniform. Why did he just let him go?
Maybe he took his. Oh, sorry.
I feel like he might have felt bad because he was young like him, and for some reason, I feel like he could be related to like the school for when he was younger, because there used to be a group of kids that turned on him because he was a Jew.
Alright.
Go ahead. She's just inferring, so that means she's got some good evidence.
I agree with that because they might have took pity on him because he doesn't know what he did wrong because he didn't do anything. Maybe they were his friends back then. Maybe they didn't know he was a Jew until like recently. Maybe they did take some stuff from him, but overall they were pretty chill.
which person, I'm gonna pose a question to the group, which character's story is the most tragic?
I think Mahmoud or Joseph.
Nope,
I
come on,
feel-
commit to one. Why?
feel
Well, let us say your reasoning
think-
first.
Joseph, because like his dad went to a concentration camp and stuff like that, and I mean that's pretty harsh. But also Mahmoud's like whole house and like everything that he had got ruined. But I mean, I guess Joseph had to leave everything behind too. So that's why I can't choose.
I feel like Mahmoud might be just a little bit more tragic because his whole country, well maybe not his whole country, but part of his country has been bombed. And he used to be like a nice, bright kid, but now he's just kind of lonely and depressed. And yeah, he's like invisible. I agree with that because Mahmoud's house got bombed. No, not his house. His entire neighborhood, his entire building could have collapsed. And it kind of, I don't know what kind of bomb was dropped, but it's pretty tragic. Plus, he got shot at. They got shot at. There was dead people in the car getting shot at by random people who are going, ugh! I don't like a random language, screaming,
You could
shooting guns.
visualize that, couldn't you?
As soon as I read that, I visualized that. I visualized them on like a road in the desert. And then there's like this Jeep just driving it with a bunch of people screaming and shooting guns. And someone and with the bullets in the windshield and all that.
His story tragic. What do you think, Hunter?
I think Joseph just because World War II.
Give these people some background. Why? I know your background. Why do you think just because of World War II?
World War II was horrible. Hitler made kids my age fight in the armies. Yeah. And they had concentration camps that were so bad. There were execution chambers and they cooked. It's horrible.
They cooked the Jews. Oh, that's tragic.
Hunter has a lot of background in World War II.
Oh
World
yeah.
War II movies, man.
So people got burned alive
And books.
like
right?
witches.
Yes.
Can we
Well,
set- can we
That's
mention
that's
books a
kind of
little bit?
torture.
Alright, fine books.
Like they couldn't have just like shot them in the face. They burned them. That all their nerves just being burned. The sensation of pain. I
We're
don't
gonna
know.
bring us back, Marley.
Terrible.
We're gonna bring us back for your log prompts. And we're participating in group. We're mostly respectful talk, and you were slanting at each other. Thank you for that. And I heard a lot of evidence for whatever you were thinking at that moment. So good job. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna give you your log prompt. Can you pass one down to Hunter? Can you pass that to Hunter, please?
Hunter, one trade.
You do not have to,
One
They're
trade.
the exact same.
Marley.
One trade.
They're all the same. The idea,
Is this one?
here, I'll trade it.
Thank you.
Okay. The idea of wanting to be invisible comes about as
Oh,
we
yeah.
read Mahmoud's story. That there could be an argument for invisibility in each of our characters' stories. Write about each character and invisibility. Do they want to be invisible? Are they being treated like they're invisible? Use text evidence to support your thinking. So there is no right and wrong answer for this. If you support with evidence that proves, if you think each character wants to be invisible, that's kind of Mahmoud's story, right? If you want to be. Or if they're being treated like they're invisible, whichever way you go for each character, provide evidence so I can find it in your blog. And you don't have to glue these in your logs. I guess I should have made that clear. You don't have to glue them in.